Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today, it's going to be a match between ForGG and July here on Heartbreak Ridge. It's going to be a Patreon cast as well, so if you're watching this the week of March the 15th, thank you for supporting me on patreon.com/FalconPaladin for as little as $1 a month. You get to see this 1 month before everybody else sees it on the YouTube channel. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, then hit that like button, hit that subscribe. I'm here 5 days a week with incredible Brood War content. Left side of the map, it is our brown Terran player ForGG. And on the right side of the map, it is a white Zerg player. It is July. Excellent. So two really great players coming at you today here on Heartbreak Ridge. I just recently cast a game on Heartbreak Ridge, but depending on when you watch this, that could be recent or it could be like a month ago. But anyway, it was, what was it, Bridget? Yeah, it was Bridget versus Terror. It got an epic tag and it deserved it. Holy smokes, it was an incredible ZVP. It comes down to the wire. I don't want to spoil anything else, but like who I thought was going to win that game flipped about 30 times in 30 minutes. So take that for what it's worth. That may be exaggerating a little bit, but anyway, drone scouting out here is July, an excellent, incredible Zerg player. Love watching this guy, and ForGG is just a legend. I think he played the most entertaining TVT I've ever had on this channel. It turned into a Sky Terran versus Sky Terran fight. I want to say it was ForGG versus like Last or somebody like that. If you like TVT and you like ForGG, maybe check that one out. I feel like I'm rhyming accidentally a lot in this cast. Not something I do is rhyme intentionally, but you know, sometimes the rhymes just fall out of your mouth and there's not much you can do about it. Alrighty then. So, you know, this guy's gonna stay alive at least until a Marine pops out of this barracks here. He's making the most of his life here inside the Terran base. It's a hatch first to play, into an extractor, into a gas. So that tells you it's going to be more of a macro style, but with speedlings a little bit faster than normal. This is a pretty good map for speedlings, I guess. Heartbreak Ridge I've cast a lot. I mean, so many games on Heartbreak Ridge. It's usually foreigners, but sometimes we do get the Korean versus Korean stuff out here, and it's always fun. This feels like an older replay. I believe it is. I like to put what the year is for these replays in the titles, but sometimes I just don't know. I can tell you this one, though, is around 1.16 on the patch number rather than something super recent like in 2019 and 2020. So hope that helps if you're curious about that sort of thing. Anyway, that is a factory. That is a barracks factory play. Barracks is floating. We are opening mech. ForGG, for some reason, whenever I think of him, I just remember mech. Which leads me to believe most of the games I've cast of his and seen of his, he's gone mech. Obviously, every time against Protoss, but also every time against Zerg, or it feels like a lot of times against Zerg. You're just a plodding, methodical, terrifying Terran player. Yes, he does have 385 APM. He's not that plodding and slow, obviously, but anyway, hope you're enjoying these casts. I love Brood War so much. It brings me such joy and such happiness to this day. I've cast, boy, about 3,000 of these replays on the channel, so if you have something to do, or you're looking for something to do because you have nothing otherwise to do, feel free to go back and look through the catalog. I've got playlists for players like Flash, Jaedong, Idra, Bisu, obviously. And I've got them sorted by race as well. So if you just want Zerg replays, I've got a playlist for that. Terran and Protoss are equally treated because I do treat all races equally here on the Falcon Paladin channel. Okay, anyway, we're going for fast Vulture speed into an expansion. The Vultures are out. Not going for Spider Mines first, but speed is pretty good against Zerg, where they can't wall off and you can jump in here and kind of start picking off drones one by one. Lings are finally out here, and the SCV does get killed by one of these guys. This one right here, this Zergling, whose name is Jeff, he's the one who killed the SCV. He's very proud of it. Checking to see, is anybody knocking down my back mineral field? No, says the Overlord. I'm not sure where the Lings are coming up here. Why? Are they going to knock... Really? Are they going to try to knock down this temple? No. I don't know why they're here. Again, yes, if there's an SCV up here starting to mine through these minerals, then sure, be ready for something, but that's not what this is. Are we just, yeah, we're just scouting with the barracks. I thought maybe we were going to land it in here and make a couple Marines, but that'd be too hilarious. Unfortunately, we don't get that funny experience today. Macro Hatch coming up here to help wall off against the incoming Vulture harass. They are here. They are speedy, and they are running around at the speed of sound. Drones actually fighting for their lives here. Helping to... Ooh, they do assist on the death of that Vulture by the Sunken. Some damage was done, and the block off by the drones there, too. Great play out of July. Now, the problem is, taking a third base is going to be extremely difficult for you. Maybe you have to wait for Mutalisks to get out before you take your third now that the Vultures have map control. That is the question of the day, and I don't actually know. But look at this. Factory. Engineering bay. Factory. Engineering bay going to be for the turrets because we are expecting Mutalisks based on the spire that was scouted by these dudes. You know what you could maybe do is take your own mineral field out, sneak around the back way, and expand your third here. So the Vulture can't do anything about it. I kind of like that, actually. But the Mutas are out. And the Slowlings are here. And this Vulture can kill every one of these Slowlings easily. It's almost like it's too fast. It's almost too fast. Change it to ×2 speed there for just a second. Oh, he does. Look at that. He's got 6 kills. Sergeant Vulture driver. Vulture biker pilot there. The Mutas are eventually going to kill the barracks. I guess recognizing that, you know, the timing on the missile turrets is going to be just fine. There's actually, Goliath building. I should have known by the Charon boost upgrade fast. Okay, we're going Goliath build, which is something that has killed many a good Zerg player on the ladder over the years. Hard to deal with, it turns out. Even though Goliaths only do half damage to Mutalisks, they still, with the Charon boost especially, hit them from so far away and get so much damage in before the Mutas can even close on them that it's brutal. Good control here, taking out a couple SCVs at the top side of the mineral patch that's not covered by those missile turrets. Yeah, look at that Charon boost finishing just in the nick of time. And the Mutas are going to get a few SCV kills, but honestly, nothing major. I don't think any of the Mutas died either. I didn't hear that sound. But third base coming up, the Mutas have the map control now. Tossing in an evolution chamber. Going for faster Overlord movement and missile attack. So Hydras trade pretty well versus these Goliaths. I always really do suggest getting a bunch of Lings too. Just trying to get a surround on them. Trying to kill the Goliaths before there's like 50 of them. Okay, there's never going to be 50 of them. But before, you know, there's 15 to 20 of them and it's a really big ball and surrounding them doesn't do nearly as much as if it's only 10 or 11 like we're starting to see here. But it can be hard if the Terran decides not to move out. However, it looks like we're definitely going for Hydras rather than Zerglings based on the upgrades being chosen. And there's your third gas coming in for July as well. So very interested to see how July handles this. Big fan of July, and what he does is worth copying, I think, in most every situation. Additional facts on the way here. The Goliath count getting a little bit scary. The remastered skin of the Goliath is awesome. They did such a good job with it. Woo, get out of there, Mutalisks. This is not your house. This is not your beautiful wife. This is not my car. And the days go by, and the water flowing down. Have you seen the Kermit the Frog sings that song tweet? I think it's mostly on Twitter, probably on Facebook too, but it always makes me laugh. Same as it ever was. Okay, so the Goliaths have decided it's time to move out. Move out! That's actually the sound for siege tanks. I apologize for misquoting these guys. I believe these guys are more systems online than moving out. Okay, supply block. The Mutas, on their own, definitely cannot engage here. Ooh, as one of them dies. It's 6 Mutas versus a full gosh darn squad of 12. 12 Goliaths. Hit harder than you expect against ground targets. You know they're good at anti-air, but that ground attack is twin autocannons of 12+1. Now, with the upgrade, my goodness, that is a big time hit. It's going to be 13 × 2, which is a good 26 damage per shot, which, they're expensive. They're gas heavy. They do cost a bunch of minerals here as well. So, I mean, you know, they got to be good if they're going to be that expensive. Additional Mutas coming in, getting Flyer Carapace. Missile attack, level 1, going to finish here from these Hydras. I don't know if these Hydras can handle this group. This meching group. I really don't. Well, they got the high ground at the very least. And wow, sneaking a 4th base top left. I mean, this is not a ninja necessarily. This is July's base. Heartbreak Ridge expansion patterns are a little bit weird that way, where your 4th is super duper close to the main base of your enemy, but that's just how it is. Muta's going to try to maybe distract the Goliaths and make them want to come back in to defend against, you know, the Mutalisk onslaught, as it were. Ooh. Okay, some Vultures do sneak past the barricade. Muta's getting some really nice work done here. And, you know, they're not killing an entire mineral line, but they're killing a bunch. All right. Mutas do... They're trying to kill these guys. The spider mines are taking hits. The Vultures are going to scout this base. So good scouting information. They're not going to accomplish anything, but, you know, scouting is good. I guess it accounts for something. Oh, the Mutas... The Vultures are so fast. Look at this guy. He's got 0 kills and 3 HP. Now he's dead. Wait, he snuck out. Wow. Slippery little guys these Vultures are. So now the question is, are you worried about drops? This is a lot of Mutalisks. This is what I love about the Goliath strategy, is we will see Mutas. Remember, they're not incredible against Goliaths, but they're pretty good, if you can, especially if you can hit before irradiates a thing, and that science facility is not done yet. The upgrade is a bit of a distance away. Trying to take a 3rd base here possibly is July. The Vulture finally goes down, and the Mutaflock is here, ladies and gentlemen. The abject chaos on display as per usual. The Mutas jump in. Too many Goliaths staying at home, getting those hits off with a +1/+1. The Mutaflock is injured pretty much across the board here. Some of these guys are at full HP, but, you know, a lot of them did take some serious hits. So, yeah, mech opening. I feel like mech opening has a really nice win percentage against Zerg on my channel recently, like over the last, I don't know, 2 years. We do often see some bio openings that transition into mech, or just straight bio plays out of Terran. And the strategy that really seems to make Zerg struggle most is where you just open with mech, man. You just go right into it. You start making a million siege tanks. You get the upgrades going for the mech units. You got 3/3. You've got the balance of Goliaths, Vultures, tanks with some science vessel support. And suddenly the Zerg player really kind of runs out of the ability to beat you. Runs out of options. Dropper Lords can help with this, right? I really enjoy a good drop play against a Terran who's meching. And we'll see if that's what happens here from July. It's something that Terror likes to do. I'm not sure that I've seen July implement that strategy on the channel, but I've not been able to cast a lot of July games. I don't have a lot of his replays in my replay cache, which is pretty substantial. If you ever have a request for a player you want me to cast, let me know in the comments. Again, I read every comment anybody ever makes. That's why we have Violet games on the channel. I would have never, ever thought to cast Violet on the channel. Until somebody suggested that I do so. Violet, unfortunately, having passed away from leukemia in 2009. But we do have some of his older replays and can kind of respect and honor the player that he was by looking back and seeing how he played in these matches. So, again, suggestions are good. I support them. Some of the suggestions are a little bit harder. Some of the suggestions I've already fulfilled. If you want to see yellow replays, you want to see boxer replays, I definitely have some of those on the channel. You just search for either of those player names and the results will pop up pretty easily. Holy Mutaflock, Batman. This is so many Mutas. This might be the most Mutas I've seen in a non-ZVZ. ZVZ can turn into a giant Mutaflock versus a giant Mutaflock very quickly. This is just... Well, you know what you don't have is any Valkyries. That might be good. Are we moving out? We're doing the slow push out. See, and this is the trick. You want to keep the tanks from just walking across the map. Is this a drop? And just straight up killing you by sieging up at your natural base. You can slow them down by setting up attacks and setting up units they have to stop and siege up for to defeat. Meanwhile, yeah, I think we dropped these guys back here. Nice. Really, really nice play here. I like this a lot. These Hydras, I mean, they're dead, but they did some good work. 4 more Mutalisks in production. This is a massive, holy crap, Mutaflock. I'm serious. I don't know that I've seen this many Mutalisks in a TVZ ever. Ever on my channel. And I've cast about 3,000 Brood War games. Look at this. Look at these guys. They're taking hits all right, but there's Hydras in the mix. Mutas are definitely dying, but guess what? A lot of those Goliaths are dead too. He decides to head out. The Hydras, you know, doing what they can here at the third base, killing a bunch of SCVs. I'm actually going to bring down that SCV count to below that of July, which is great. By that I mean that didn't actually happen. The repair is nice, and once again, these Goliaths hit like trucks. +2 attack is done for them, working on +3. Guess who's making 12 Mutalisks right now? July is. He believes. He believes in the power of the Mutalisk. I'm gonna just jump into the main base. Missile turrets have no power with me. I have +2 flyer carapace. See, this is fine. ForGG losing a couple missile turrets up here is like, we can replace those. We have the income port. We're on 3 bases. What is harder to replace are a ton of SCVs or a command center or a bunch of supply depots is annoying to replace. And once again, the Muta's getting chased away by the Goliaths with the Charon boost, with the upgrades, and pacha. Actually getting a Greater Spire. Ooh. I mean, I expected some Defilers, but the Greater Spire upgrade is a bit of a surprise. A surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. Okay, well, this almost feels like a fastest map. So many Mutalisks. Look at these guys. Look at them. You're doing pretty well. Trading against the Goliaths, killing a ton of SCVs, dropping, there we go, down to 35 SCVs here. Taking hits without really accomplishing a whole lot. Are they trying to Muta bomb this command center? If they brought a queen, they could kill it faster, but that works out. Command center down. That's what I'm talking about. That's some damage that is actually going to make ForGG hate his life. This is crazy. This is so many Mutalisks. Not working on attack upgrades for those things at all, by the way. Or instead doing important things like Lurker Aspect. Greater Spire's done. See, the problem here is that making Guardians against Goliaths, the Goliaths outrange the Guardians, or it's equal range. Either way, the Goliaths can hit them from pretty far distance. Their max distance, effectively. Look at these Hydras. They've just been holding court here for the last, like, 10 minutes. Just, you know, in case anybody wanders by, we'll try to kill them. This is great. I mean, this is going exceptionally well for July. He's playing super duper well. Bottom right-hand corner. Taking that base, which is technically one of ForGG's bases. Yeah? So taking it away from the Terran is excellent. This is, Alright, this is where it gets scary, though. You could do a lot of damage to a meching Terran, but once they start moving out, once they start sieging up near your bases with +3 attack siege tanks, suddenly it gets very real. Exceptionally real. Wow, 12 o'clock base getting taken there too. July out expanding hard. Okay, I mean, ground attack, fantastic, really nice. Good Dark Swarm. It's only a couple lurkers. Hydras coming from the left side, that's not happening for you at all. Did he intentionally? He must have. He must have intentionally split his lurkers so the splash damage wasn't hitting them. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful play here. That's got to be unintentional from July. Look at him sneaking Hydras down this left side too. Oh, this is so sneaky. I don't know, man. Here come Les Gardiens. You'll notice they're taking direct hits from everybody. Mostly the Goliaths, though. I kind of love this. Guardian Mutalisk with Hydra support. The tanks are not in the general vicinity to help all that much. And once these guys are dead, the tanks are all dead. The Hydras are killing more SCVs over here at this third base. I think July has this game won. We're at 20 minutes to go. Hold on. Did the Mutas all die there? I didn't think that... Okay. Wow. Yep, the Guardians are dead, as is tradition. It's suddenly 176 supply. It's in favor of the Zerg player, yes. He's at 24 SCVs to 56 drones. And this army is a lot less scary than it was about 2 minutes ago. So, July is producing more Hydralisks. Great Dark Swarm. The Hydra is doing some nice target fire on the siege tanks, taking some of that splash damage anyway. And this army's going to get cleaned up. And that's your good game. Wow. July having himself a fantastic match here against ForGG, recognizing the mass mech opening, dealing with it handily, somehow conjuring 50 Mutalisks out of these bases. I mean, yes, he's got a macro hatch. Yes, he took a pretty fast 4th base that was not punished, which is huge. 2 thumbs up. Yes, he managed to take the bottom right base as well. And yes, his attacks did consistently kill SCVs throughout the game. And he got the main base of ForGG. All fair points. I think this is just... Is this a textbook? Is this just everybody needs to learn and pay attention to how July won this game, because this is exactly how you do it against the Goliath opening. 1 million Mutalisks. You got some Hydras in there too. Be sure to get the Hydra's attack upgrades and get the Mutalisks armor upgrades. Get a ton of Dark Swarm out, right? As soon as you can, with the Defilers, obviously getting Plague in the mix too. Making some Guardians, I guess. I'm not sure if those are necessary, but yeah, the trades. The trades were good. July's a boss, man. I like this guy a lot. I need to cast more of his things, if I can find him. 139,000 points here from ForGG. 145 for the Zerg player. If your kill ratio is about the same, you're doing pretty good as a Zerg at that point. You really are. I mean, if this is even at all, you're fine with it. Resources, yeah, way more gas mined. Really not surprised by that based on the base timings, and more minerals and more spent. Outspent by 10,000, almost 11,000 resources. ForGG, just not macroing as hard as July was. July, again, went for the straight up quick 4th base. Didn't get punished for it at all. Didn't hardly lose any drones whatsoever. And it's really hard to beat an elite Zerg player when that happens. So fantastic job by July. And that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered and a Patreon cast. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.